And I just realized that my microphone was muted. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Writing Sprint Thursdays. I am your host. Hey, Garner. So good to pop in and see all of you here in the chat. Just waiting to get started. Let's see who our first comment was today. NJ. NJ was the first one in the chat. 5 points to NJ. I hope someone's keeping track of all these. I assign bonus points to whoever shows up first in the chat occasionally. So I hope someone's keeping tally on all that. How is everybody today? Everybody doing good? Ready to write some words and get all the things done. I'm doing a little editing today. Doing some final line edits on a couple of books that I've got coming up. I do have a release date for book one in my uh, Thorn's Legacy series, November 18th, the day after my birthday. So that'll be exciting. And then books 2 and 3 coming out in December and January. So exciting. So exciting. Um, let's see, who all do we have here today? Let's see. NJ, of course, we mentioned already that NJ was here first. DA Brandon, electrical tictress. B, hello B. Let's see. I mentioned DA Brandon already. JM Brown, good to have you with us. Who else do we have here? Athena, good to see you, Athena. Aaron, hello, Aaron. Hanuel, I hope I pronounced that right. I feel like I just bulldoze over that name every time I see it. I apologize in advance. Hello, Douglas. So, Rosalinda, hello. Good to have you with us. After writing sprints today, we have premium office hours with Doug and Abby and me. And we have shifted our schedule for office hours a little bit. We're doing those once a month now, but we're taking a little extra time to make sure that we get ample time to get your questions in. And Doug has teased us a little bit today and said, you know what, if we have a lull in the questions coming from the chat, we may get into a couple of spicy topics. So I don't know what that means yet, but Abby and I are prepared just in case. Just you've been warned. There may be spicy takes coming in. What's everybody else working on today? Tell me something exciting that you're working on. Rosalinda, are you working on book 4 still? And how close are you getting to getting that first draft finished? And what's your plan? I know you have a plan. I know you're working that plan. And are you still in Greece? I feel like you said that you guys were coming back soon. I may have just made all that up. Doug says, "Oh, you'll know when it happens." Okay, Doug. I'm not poking the bear. Just let it be known that I'm not poking the bear. We'll see what happens when it comes in. DA Brandon said, "My first book still, LOL." That's okay. We all wrote a first book, and I have fond memories of writing my first book, and I have, sometimes you wish you could go back and relive that experience all over again, because we talk about the gift of anonymity a lot. Before you write and publish that first book, um, it's a special time that there are no expectations and no stressors from external sources. Of course, you put stress on yourself because you want to get the thing done, and that's valid. But no one else is doing that, and it's a really special right before that first book comes out. All right, here we go. We down. It's coming. I've got my words pasted in that I'm going to be editing on, and we'll see you guys in 20 minutes. And there's the countdown timer telling us that sprint number 1 is in the books. Hope you guys got all the words written. I'm going to highlight my words and copy them out and paste them back into my Dabble project. And then get sprint number 2 going. I'll paste a link to sprint number 2 in the chat if anybody is needing it there. And then let me share my screen. All right. Starting in just over 4 minutes. How'd you do, guys? Rosalinda said I wrote by 3:14. Amazing. Aaron 37. Doug says that would be so kind, MJ. Maybe connect with Abby about that. I have no idea what that's about. I should probably scroll back up. Oh, nice. Let's see. Hanuel 214. DA Brandon 74 words, but I was extremely distracted. It happens. You know, sometimes just any forward momentum. I found myself. I sit down to for a writing session, and I have big plans, but I wind up working on some kind of behind the scenes stuff, unraveling knots, things like that. And although it doesn't seem like I accomplished a whole lot as far as words on the page that day, the work that I did, helps to pave the way for future writing sessions, which, makes ultimately the whole project, go forward and make progress. Athena 476 words of how magic originated in the planet that I finally named. Amazing. See, that's one of those things where, that backstory will help to drive the entire story forward in the future. I'll bet. J.M. Brown 618. Doug says I did not fall back into past tense. Once that's Oh man, I got edits back on a book a while back, and I had some late night writing sessions where I fell into present tense. I have the past tense, third person close narration, and a couple of sessions, like the entire writing session, I just went into present tense for whatever reason, and the editor sent back and she said, are you setting up some great narrative thing that's going to pay off later? I'm like, no. I was sleepy and I just shot myself in the foot, so I had to go back and correct all that. Yeah. NJ said, how do I know if I'm writing from the right perspective? And Doug says, whose story is it, NJ? So that's a maybe that's something we can tackle in office hours if we really want to dig into that a little more. Minute and a half to go until sprint number 2. Hanuel says, I need to think about how I want this scene to go first in the sprint before I stray away from the point of the chapter. I just talk too much. Sometimes a few minutes of sitting and collecting your thoughts pays off in the long run. I have a tendency to get an idea and run with it, and then I'll realize that I took a wrong turn and have to back up and come back, and it happens. And I've gotten better at plotting and staying on track, but sometimes just a great idea comes up, or what you feel like is a great idea at the time, and sometimes it is, and sometimes you should probably just jot down some notes on that and think that through before you start writing it. Or I'm speaking for myself here. That happens to me. Doug says that's usually the answer. Then scene by scene, you can ask if there's a perspective would add. We'll dig into that more. I'm sorry, I got busy reading. All right. Sprint number 2. See you guys in 20 minutes. All right, sprint number 2 is finished. Hope you guys had a great time. I got some more line editing done. Kind of the busy work at the end of a project. I hope you guys were successful. Um, let's see what can I catch up on here in the chat. Here's before we get into that, here is the link for sprint number 3. Post it into the chat there. All right, and there's sprint number 3 up, and I need to paste in some words so I have something to work with here. Be sure that you are copying your workout and pasting it into your word processor or your Dabble project. You don't want to lose all of the progress that you've made. Wordsprints.org will save your work for about 24 hours, but be sure to back up that work. We definitely don't want to lose any new words that you've accomplished. Athena says 323 in this one. Rosalinda with 337. B says not a single word written, but got things lined out for graphics for the Isabel book. Well, congratulations. That is, we'll count that as forward progress with you for sure. Let's see. What else? What else did I skip over here? Ashpash says, hello. It's been such a busy few weeks. Barely had any writing time. Well, we're so happy that you were able to join us. First day of school, and my flatmate's mom is in CCU. Oh no, we'll send positive thoughts your way. Hope that that everyone is okay in the end. Let's see. DA Brandon. Nope, my mind's still moving too slow. Only 65 words. Think I'm just going to be done. Well, 65 words is 65 words that you didn't have when we started. So we'll celebrate small victories with you for sure. Hanuel 200 felt good after some thinking. It's always I am all for celebrating victories no matter what size they are. 200 words is 200 words more than you had when you started, and that's worth celebrating for sure. Let's see. JM Brown 621. Let's see. NJ says my illustrator is sending me a first draft soon. I'm so excited. Oof, that's for my first children's book. Getting especially when you have a collaborative aspect like an illustrator or a cover designer, when you're getting stuff from them, that is so exciting to share your vision with someone else and to see that it taking on a life outside of just living in your brain. It's so exciting, so exciting. Does anyone have a book that they are publishing soon? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Is anyone writing a mystery or a thriller type book? One of my daughters, we share a love for mystery thrillers, and we were talking this morning, and I said, when I finish the science fiction projects that I'm under contract for and working to finish, when I finally get all of that off my desk, I really, really want to write a mystery that I've had in my head for quite a while, and it's about the protagonist are a young man who is trying to become a mystery writer, and he's got a small inheritance from his grandmother, and he has enough money to live for a year. And his girlfriend, who he's going to marry, runs a mystery bookshop, and the two of them together, their bodies that wind up on their doorstep, and they have to solve these mysteries while doing all that. It's an idea I've wanted to pursue for a long time. I think I'm going to do that. Anyway, here we go. Final sprint and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, everybody, that is sprint number 3, and we are finished sprinting for today. I hope that you all were successful, got all the words written. Be sure to copy out your words, paste them into your word processor program of choice. We hope it's Dabble, of course. Let's see. J.M. Brown, 621. Let's see. Ashpash 602. Congratulations, guys. Those are amazing. B said, "Where have all the dragons gone? The beginning of the end is out Halloween." Congratulations. Can't wait to see it. All right, guys. We are going to be over in premium office hours for all the Academy members. And we hope to see you in just a few minutes. Rosalind go 426 for a total of 1225. Not too shabby. That's almost a whole chapter. Would depending on how your chapter structure goes. Congratulations, good work. Sir thinks too much. 275 words. Started late. Well, we're happy to have you, no matter when you drop in. Hanuel 282. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to run and grab a drink and get ready for premium office hours. We'll see you over there in a few, and we'll see you next week for sprints on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with Abby joining us on or hosting us on Tuesday, Doug on Wednesday, and me back for next Thursday. We'll see you guys, and I hope to see you in a few minutes over in premium office hours. Bye, guys.